Okay, back out in the garage. Noisy air conditioner's on because it's freezing out here today. Got below zero here today, so our first frost for the year. It's a bit late, but I was in two minds because I was woken up with a bit of a headache, and but I want to get something done. So today I might try and get this sorted. So I'll probably only be an hour or two, but that's all right. Because I've got a few phone calls I've got to make later as well, and tomorrow I've got to go to Corindi, so probably get nothing done tomorrow. So I might not get our testing done this week, but on the weekend I'm going to, rather than take the weekend off, I'm going to spend Saturday out here and get as much done as I can. So today I'm going to sit down and figure out what I'm going to do with this. That's loose. I've got to fix that up to make sure it comes up all the way. So I'll have a look at how I'm going to do that. And then I've got to make the little pins so I can mark my holes. So, because that's not quite as far as it needs to go back. So it's not quite that far. So it needs to go about there. So yeah, I just got to work out because it runs. Hang on, let me see if I can turn that without too many stupid camera movements. I don't know if you can see under there. I can't see the bloody screen. Where am I? What am I looking at? I've got this bloody thing zoomed right up. You idiot. That's why I couldn't see what I was doing. As you can see underneath there, when you push this forward, it hits here. So I might have to take a little bit more off the front of the block here. Talk about stupid, I was pointing to it on the screen. Now you're not going to see that, are you? Just a little bit off here, and yeah. And we'll work with that just to get this gap as close as we need it. Yeah, just a little bit of tinkering. I was going to spend an hour or two out here this morning. And next time I promise, well, this one will have music. I'll make sure. Just the other one, because there was so much footage, I didn't realise I had 3 hours and 18 or 3 hours and 19 minutes of video that I had to go through, when I still could only trim that down to, what was it, 56 minutes. And sometimes I think that might be a little bit long. For my style of video, it'd be hard to keep people's interest. So, so I'm going to try and, I don't know, stop talking as much for a start, and just progress shots. Not, you know, there's too much talking. So I'm going to try and rectify that. So let me go and work this out, and I'll bring you back. Right, I've cleaned that up. I took 3mm off, but I had to redo these chamfers here, but I put these ones as well to clear the welds. So that should give me plenty now. So let me put this back on and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, it's all hooked up. And there we go. That's a little bit more than we need. Well, I might even be able to make it work there. But what I've got to do is, when I put the pins in, I'll probably have to just recess the thing there just for them to sit up against. But, you know, I think that's going to be enough. It just depends on the pipe that's going to be crushed in there. So if I make the maximum, say, inch, that'll crush down to there. It should. If not, I might actually just bring it back a few mil. So now I'm going to take this out. I'm going to find some stuff and make some pins for the bottom. Well, actually, there's some stuff. There's a bolt there. I'll make it out of that. I'll just put a point on it and then cut it so it's just proud of the bottom, and then we'll put this all back together. So once I've machined those, I'll bring you back. Righto, there's me two little pins. So what I'm going to do now is put those in. No, that one won't go in. I must have, I don't know why, they both should be the same size because I used the same end mill to do the holes. But anyway, there we go. So they're in there, just probably a little bit more proud than they need to be, but that doesn't matter. That'll be good enough. So let me put this back on and I'll throw you in the stand. Righto. Now we're in there. And we're back about as far as we need to go. Or almost. Just let me measure that. I don't know what I've done with my rule. 6-inch rule, but anyway. If we stand that up, it's about where we need it there. The only thing I've got to be careful of, I want to see if I can find something to put under the back here, so I'll just pull that up a little bit tight before I walt it. I don't know what have we got here. A bit of aluminum for my American friends. I don't know what we've got here. This might do us. Oh yeah, beautiful, look at that. Now I'll get my measurement right. It's about 15 mil. Get me alignment here. Then we'll nip this up. Hopefully they'll be right. And get the hammer. Now let's take him out and see. I only just need a witness and I can centre punch it from there. Because keep in mind they're not hardened, they're only high tensile, so oh yes. I love it when a plan comes together. Let me take you out of here for a second. Try and do it as gently as possible. I noticed the other day when I took the camera out of the stand, it looked like I was in a fight. Right, I don't know if you can see. Here's one. There. And there's the other one. Hang on, it's a bit dark. It's right there. So what I do now is I'm going to centre punch those and I'm going to drill them by hand. I should be able to drill them by hand because I need a slight clearance, so I can't drill them the same size I drilled that because it's going to be too hard. I'll need them to fit in there fairly easy, so let me find a drill and I'll get this sorted and we'll come back and have another look. Alright, I don't know what I'm going to do. Those holes used with those pills, those pins, drilled them by hand as straight as I possibly could. Put those in. One's sitting a little bit higher than the other, but that's okay. But the hole's out by, I don't know, a mil. So what I'm going to have to do now is take this out, take this off, take it back up and put it on the mill and take that hole out sideways a little. As long as I go sideways it'll be fine because they're still going to stop it going backwards. So I don't know what the hell went wrong there. The drill might have walked when I was drilling it, but you know, I took it fairly steady. I drilled a little pilot. Use that to drill the pilot hole. And then run the same size as that. The only drop I found was exactly the same size, but the pin still fitted. So, and I don't want to have to screw this up. I don't want to. So I'm going to take it up there and just run the slot drill down it. Just widen that up enough, and I might run one down there as well, just to square the holes up. I think that's going to be the best way. I don't want to rush this, and I don't want to screw it. So, you know, I mean, I didn't get as far as I planned to this week. That's okay. But I'm going to get this right, and that way, while I've got it up there, I can sit it in here and then take out little tiny cutouts I might need here. So, yeah, I don't know what I've done. I can only imagine that's the drill wanted, and what I've done is I had one slid in just neatly and the other one tapped in, but what I've done was I ground some roughness around the bottom of them and cleaned it with primer, with Loctite primer, and just used Araldite epoxy. So that'll hold those in, they won't come out. So anyway, I'm going to call it that for the day. It's now 25 to 12 because I was a bit late starting out here today. But I got these holes done. Saturday I'm going to come out here and take this back off, put it over in the mill and sort this out. Sort out this abomination. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll see you Saturday. Alright, welcome back out to the garage. It's Friday. I'm going to work on it today. I don't have to go to Corinda like I thought. That's not till next Wednesday now, so I'm going to sort this out and get everything fitted up on this. You don't need to see it. You've seen me machine this stuff 1,000 times. When I'm done, I'll bring you back and we'll carry on from there. Stay tuned. Okay, I've messed around. As you can see, that one's a little bit wider. I've got it to fit. I've had to fiddle with this. I did it off camera because I had the shits. Yeah, I had the shits, so I didn't film it, but I machined in there because that was not flat. That was when I machined that shitty end mill. So, you know, anyway, but it all clamps in, it locates. I've trimmed those pins off the same length, cleaned the bottom up. All I'm going to do now, you can't see it, I won't even bother trying to show you. I've marked where the pins go here. I've got to take it back about 3 mil, so I'm just going to use the die grinder and grind little round recesses in there for the pins to go back into. You know what? I'm going to put it back up in the mill, and I'm going to do it with the slot drill, or am I? Is it worth it? Doesn't take much to get it out of here. I'll ponder. But I mean, everything's not as tight as I'd like it now, but it still clamps down fine. It locates in those 2 holes there perfectly, and it doesn't move. Once you tie it down, it's solid as a rock, so it's not going to go anywhere. The only thing is, it's just a touch out of line. When it's up front for the crushing cycle, that just clips, which is fine. I'm just going to shim that out, and when it comes down, when I move it back here, that just clears it a little bit, which is fine, because when it's all the way back, that'll be for crushing cans, so I don't need that to be overly operative. So I'm just going to tinker with this for a second. Once I've got these pins, these slots done, these grooves, I'll bring you back. Righto. I tried to do it by hand, but it keeps jumping, so I'm going to pull this back out of here. Like I said, it only takes 5 minutes. All I do is take the T-nut off the bottom of that, and 4 bolts there with the rattle gun, and I'll go and set up in the middle, and then we'll take you up and have a look. I'm not going to be able to film much because you won't be able to see much in here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get my end mill down in there, because it's a bit close to here. Let me think about it. Righto, there we go. I end up doing it by hand, but I unbolted it, stuck it in the vise. It was much easier. So that's gone from, you know, a millimetre gap to about 4.5, 5 mil there. So that's all we need. So what's the time? 11:13. I might cut these out. I might cut this off as well. I'm just trying to work out. See this one, look, I've welded it there, but that's got a. No, hang on. I'm thinking here. Actually, if I cut that off about there, I might make this boltable. I'll have to cut that off, obviously, but I might drill a couple of holes here and weld a bracket on that, so that you can put that back into crush cans to do copper. Yeah, and I have to come off back about here because you need to be able to fit. Cut a hole, cut it big enough so you can fit minimum. That's, I know Dion doesn't do a whole lot of really big copper, but it does do a lot of 1/2 inch and 3/4. So, sorry, 1/2 inch and 3/4. 12 and 19 mil. So you'll have to come back to at least there. So I might, and what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to get a piece of round bar, drill a hole in it to fit over there. When you zoom in, you might be able to see it. To fit on here, just weld it on here, so that you've got something with a taper, so you can stand here and feed the wire through. So it might pay to do both sides, cut them off, so that when he's doing copper, it'll come off back to about here on both sides. Cut it off there, cut it off there. It's going to be easier than try and just cut little holes in things. Because we need to put stoppers on it as well, like a stopper on this side. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting to. I'm looking at what I'm filming, not on the camera itself. So half the time I'm talking about over here and the camera's out here. Anyway, I'm going to put a stopper on there somehow. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do that. Might even be able to put it on top. See, I can cut this down. Maybe I'll put it on top of that so we can wind it in and out. So what I might do is I'll measure this, I'll mark it, and then cut it, and then cut it out, and then I'll cut these off as square as possible. That means I'm going to put this back up in the mill, but that's okay. Just to machine where I've welded. Or I might even make it so it bolts up against there. Yeah, I'll have to think about that, but at least I've got this bit done now, and that's pulled up tight. So I need to probably just to shim that out. Not much, it's only a little bit. You can see it just hits. It's probably 1/2 mil, but that's okay. I'd rather have to shim it, and that's still wobbling a little bit because it's not tight. I've got to tighten it, but when I tighten it, it's a bit stiff. So what I've got to do when I'm ready to run it, I'll just grease it, put some grease on it, hook it up, and then run it. Just let it run for 1/2 an hour just to wear in. Because there's bits and pieces that aren't overly square either, and this is what's so frustrating for me when you machine stuff. Like when you do it on that mill, it should go back in every single time. If you're using parallel strips, it should go back in and machine the same. It doesn't. It does not machine the same every single time. I had to take 1/2 mil off this side, and I had it sitting on that side there, flattened the vise, and I tapped it down, locked it up, and that was thicker on bottom end. That's why it was jamming. I took sort of 1/4 mil off here, and it must have taken nearly 1 mil off the bottom. And that's putting it back in the same vise, and so everything off these holes here. You can see something. I've locked the table down when I've done it, but the table's jumped. I'm really at a loss. It's just so frustrating. you know, I could kick myself hard because I should have spent a little bit extra money when I bought that bloody thing and got a decent mill. So I think the mill itself, I think I paid about 6,000 or 7,000 for that for a decent one. I think it was for 240 volt. It was about $13,000. I get a better one for about 14, a 3-phase, but even with that size, I could use get a half decent inverter like that to run it. So, you know, but anyway, it is what it is. I can only do what we can do. Yeah, so I might mark that before I have lunch. I might mark that out. Well, like mark it with texture and then pull it all apart and stick it in the vise and chop it up. Cut this off to here and then work out how I'm going to do it. I could just drill holes and tap it M10 and just use short bolts. That'll work. I think it's going to line up better. Oh, hang on. That's a text message. Hang on. Let me just get that. Come on. Thank you. Stop that before YouTube picked it up and flagged the video. It's a text tone for my wife. Yeah, so I might do that. I might do a little bit after lunch, I think. I know it's only 20 past 11, but I think I'll mark this and unbolt it, and then I'll go and have some lunch. And see how we go. I'm going to stop about 2 o'clock today, so I'll get inside and edit the video. Even that, or I might leave it and do tomorrow, because I haven't got a whole lot of footage today to go in, so I might even do it tomorrow. So, you know, like I said, that's going to be plenty crush. That's the cutter that's in there. That's what that'll do. But as I said, that air ram just did not have enough pressure. It's just kind of sad, really. But you get that. There's about $900 worth of pneumatic gear down there that I can't sell now. So I'll use it for something else. I'll make something with it. Anyway, let me sort this out. I'm starting to waffle again, aren't I? I'll get this sorted and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, been in and had lunch. I ground that off and that looks alright. I'm not going to worry about having to machine it. It's just a pain in the bum to set this up all the time. So, these, and I didn't cut real straight, but they're going back on there. I cut the tops off. I'm going to cut a chamfer on both ends of that just to make it look nicer, and on the end of that just to make it look pretty. And what I'm going to do now is cut some stuff. Oh, I've got that. Oh, I've got a little bit here that I forgot about. So I've been cleaning my shelves up to fit stuff in, and I've got all this. And the kids were looking for tyre shine, and my daughter went and bought new tins of it, and there's one full and 2 half full ones. I'll just cut bits off that to do the sides with. I'll see if I've got bolts. I should have bolts. I might just put 2 10mm bolts in each side. Yeah, I've got to take these ones out because they're too short. I've got longer ones there for it, so I might cut these 2 bits out. And that one. Now all I did is one side I cut with the grinder down so far, and then got the sawzall that and cut it to the bottom, and the other side I did the whole thing, but it's those things are violent. They are a pain in the backside. So so I'm going to get this sorted. I'll mark all I might cut all my chamfers first, see how I go. I need to record some more, but I'm having a few problems today melting down, and you don't really want to see that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I've been pretty good the last few days, but yeah, like I just come in here and I lost it here a minute ago and spent a good 5 minutes trying to find my camera. It was in the top of the tripod, you know, going off my brain. So I'll record as much as I can anyway while I'm out here today. And I think I will get this video up today. I'll start playing with it when I get inside. Might be just a shorter one. And then tomorrow, I'm going to come out tomorrow. I don't usually come out on the weekends, but I will tomorrow because I want to get more done. Yeah. So, hang around, stay tuned. Righto, playing around, there we go. That's in can crushing configuration. So just take those two plates out when you want to do copper. That's all I'm going to do today. I'm not doing too well today. I'm sorry if I haven't taken much video, but I just keep melting down, losing it. I put stuff down and I swear to God, this is not lying. 5 or 10 seconds later, I can't remember where I put it. I don't know how many times I tried to find that, and it was sitting there. Same for my verniers, rattle gun, battery. One of my batteries is missing. Well, I know where it is now because I know where I put it. But anyway, it's just too many meltdowns, so I'm going to go inside and I won't do the video today. I'll edit it tomorrow. But that's how it is now. So making some progress, making some good progress. Let me just. I've got a. Yeah, there's a bit of. I've still got a. I don't know if you see. Let me zoom in. Just got to take those rags off because it's hitting it. So I've got to get in there and get those off. Yeah. So we'll see how we go. Tomorrow I should be able to do this cutting guide for the wire. Even if I've got a bit of small pipe, I don't have to drill a bit of round bar. I've got something here somewhere, I'm sure, to guide the wire. So it is making decent progress. Tomorrow I'll get that done. I'll see if I can get my adjuster done and clean this up. I'll be almost ready to dress this fully, like hit it with the flap oil and then take it out and sandblast it. Same with the end. I'll dress that up a little, take it out, sandblast it, the cutting head. A few little things still need adjusting, but it's very, very close. I know I wanted to test it this week, but it hasn't happened, but it should be early next week. I should be able to function test it once I get all this stuff here sorted. Yeah, I've even been saving some cans. I've got some cans out here to throw in it. So, yeah, and then what I've got to do then is start making me catch tray. That won't take much. That's just so. Actually, I might leave that and do that when I do the stand for it. So I can put a bucket under it and catch everything. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out again. I won't say peace because it's not the end of the video. So I'll do some more video tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be functioning a little bit better and I can do some more video of what I'm actually doing. It's too hard. I can't concentrate on anything, and you know. No, so I'm not driving a pity bus. I'm just explaining how it is. Anyway, stay safe, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Righto, Saturday morning. I've come out here just to get my camera. I've decided that I'm not going to do anything today. I just need a day or two off, so I'm going to get back in on Monday because I just found as the week went on I was getting worse. So I have it 2 days off. I'll be really keen on Monday to come out and get into it. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 2 little guides in here just to stop this from moving when it's in this position. When it's in the back position, it's fine because it's in those 2 locating holes. In this front position, I worked out yesterday, it's square now, but it wasn't square yesterday. And I loosened it, I cracked it and moved it a little bit, and it was square. So I just need something to align it when it's in this front position. So I'm going to tack or weld, I'll take these off, weld just a couple of little small ones, they don't need to be very big at all, and then take them up to the mill and machine it. It'll get to be much easier because I can take these off. So lots of little fiddly stuff, but it's what's needed. Like I said, I don't want to stuff it. I want to make this work, and I want to make it work good. So, and I'm sure Dion will appreciate that it's taking a little bit longer than, you know. So I can't help it. It's just the way I am. I don't know. Those that have recently subscribed that have actually make it this far through the video probably don't realise, but I suffer from PTSD rather severely, so I have a lot of trouble sometimes concentrating and making things work. But we're getting there, and I'm sort of buoyed by the fact that this is starting to get somewhere. The only thing that I'm worrying about is when it comes time to test it, whether it should have more than enough power. It's at 1 horsepower, it's 0.75 kilowatts, which is just a touch over 1 horsepower. I think, is it 0.72 or 74 is 1 horsepower, but and it'll have momentum on its side, so and it's going to work rotating this way, so the force will be sort of try and push it upwards, will be pushing it downwards, and it will have momentum on its side, so it will work. I'm pretty sure it will work. So yeah, the only thing I've got to, I was thinking last night too with this, when it's doing cans, if you're doing it 1 can at a time, it's going to be fine. If I wanted to put like a cassette that you could sort of sit in there in locating pins and just keep loading the cans in, so just as it's going, it'll just continue crushing the cans. If I'm doing that, which is not really a major issue, I'm going to have to put a plate, I'm going to put something that I can bolt, even if I bolt it in here, that sits up, so that when it goes forward, the next can's not going to drop in behind here. Because I'm pretty sure that's the one we made where I used to work some years ago. We did that. It had I think it only needs to come back to about here. And when I'll work it anyway, so that when this comes up, I'll bring it back as far as I can. Anyway, I'll work that out when it comes, because I have a couple of different ideas. Either that, I'll see how I'm going for time and resources. I mean, either way, Dion's not going to matter too much if he just puts 1 can in at a time. It might be easier actually just to do 1 can at a time. So anyway, I'm going to take this inside and edit it and get it up today. So thank you for being on the journey with me. I know it's sometimes painful and the camera work is shit, but for those of you that do hang around and watch, I thank you. You know, if you have any suggestions or thoughts about what I could or shouldn't do, just please make a comment and let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. So, and I think that's going to look a whole lot better too once it's cleaned, sandblasted, dressed and painted. So yeah, that's going to look nice, I think. It'll look very technical anyway. Anyway, enough talking. Thanks for hanging around again, and until next time, as always, stay safe. Peace.